I feel like every time you talk about him, you're never really that angry. Is it because you see?
I said I don't hate the kid. Then he came out yesterday and said, well, now that you love me. Well, I never said I love you. But.
This is coming from Conor McGregor. He says the rumors of a bout.
Because usually every day there's a Conor tweet. And usually it's something about a fight that probably could never happen.
Dana White, the president of the UFC, has always been a polarizing figure in the world of mixed martial arts. Known for his no-nonsense attitude and outspoken nature, White has never shied away from expressing his opinions, especially when it comes to the fighters under his promotion. Recently, White's comments about Conor McGregor's decision to fight Logan Paul have stirred up quite a bit of controversy and discussion within the combat sports community.
What's going on with Jake Paul, Conor McGregor? Is that fight happening or what?
Probably not, no.
Are you closed off to it completely?
I'm never completely closed off to anything. I used to say that about, things, but I don't say that anymore. You never know what could happen.
So do you think that Jake probably has a little bit more to prove to you as a fighter?
He shouldn't even be fighting Conor McGregor. There's weight classes for a reason.
What if Jake can cut to 145?
he just cuts half of his body off.
Hey guys, welcome to some breaking news, and this is pretty bonkers. This is coming from Conor McGregor. He says the rumors of a bout with Topuria are false. I am in preliminary agreements with the Urbani family to face Logan Paul in a boxing exhibition in India. I have agreed. I will then seek my return to the octagon. Now, there is no way I can't see this happening if Conor has agreed, because Conor is going to be the biggest stumbling block. There is no way Logan Paul turns down this opportunity.
I like Logan a lot. Great kid. Who in this room thinks that's a great fight?
He's fighting.
Raise your hands, please, if him and Dylan Dennis is a great fight. I know he's fighting. Nobody? Not one guy?
Then they're going to have these crazy, extravagant press conferences where it gets really heated and they're arguing and they're just going back and forth at one another. And then it's going to be marketed as the biggest fight of all time. There's going to be so much anticipation built up around it. People just can't wait until that day comes. Then finally, it's time for fight night. All the prelims are pretty good. They have like a 20-minute walkout. And it's the most underwhelming fight you've ever seen. And I'll just imagine that Jake wins, Conor gets millions of dollars, and the next day we're talking about the fight being rigged once again. That's exactly how it's going to play out. We've been here like 8 times. Don't fall for it. This fight is going to suck.
Conor McGregor, one of the most famous and successful fighters in UFC history, announced that he would be participating in an exhibition boxing match against Logan Paul.
So what happened was, I went over to Ireland. I received some award from one of the colleges over there. So I told all the fans, meet me at the bar tonight. I'm buying drinks. And all these people show up. Everybody keeps talking about this guy, Conor McGregor. For some reason, whatever it was, I don't know why. I was drinking too. But I thought he was a heavyweight. So I come back and I tell Sean Shelby, our matchmaker, I said, this kid Conor McGregor, he's like, yeah, I know him. I've been watching him, blah, 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 blah. We end up signing him. So he flies out to Vegas and he and I go to dinner together. And I'm fucking like, I'm blown away by this kid, right? So when we leave each other that night, I get in the car and I called Lorenzo. I said, let me tell you what, I don't know if this kid can fight or not, but if he can even throw a punch, he's going to be a huge superstar.
Dana White has consistently praised Conor McGregor, referring to him as a unicorn in the sport. White admires McGregor's willingness to accept any fight, a trait that has endeared him to fans and contributed to his status as one of the UFC's biggest stars.
Conor McGregor is a unicorn. Yes, he's funny, he's got the personality, he's got that thing. But at the end of the day, what people really loved about Conor McGregor, he never turned down a fight. There's video footage of me and Lorenzo standing in his house. He just wakes up in his underwear. He's been training for a fight. The fight's off. Conor spent loads of his own money. We told him, you see him sort of absorb it for a minute. He's like, well, I'm going to the gym. Call me later and let me know who I'm fighting. That's what people like. You can have all the personality and all this shit. People love killers. Conor was a killer. Doesn't care, doesn't want to know, doesn't want any more money, nothing. Shows up and he delivers. Yeah. So, Conor has been incredibly successful. He's made a lot of money and, he's had his ups and downs outside and inside the octagon. But as for a guy who was, on the dole and was a plumber, he's actually a really smart businessman. And he's been one of the best partners that I've ever had in the history of the sport.
Yeah, and an important part of the history of the UFC.
Big.
He opened it up to all kinds of new eyes.
Yep. He literally, set Europe.
Logan Paul, a YouTube star turned professional boxer, has made a name for himself by taking on high-profile fights, including bouts against fellow YouTuber KSI and boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. The announcement of McGregor versus Paul was met with mixed reactions, with some fans excited about the spectacle and others questioning the legitimacy and purpose of the fight.
I mean, this is bonkers on so many levels. You can already see one of the first reactions to it. Toxplicity an hour ago saying a sex pest and a crypto scammer. Lovely. Merry Christmas, everyone, right? Merry Christmas. Obviously, right now, America is asleep. When they wake up, this news is going to go absolutely bonkers because you're taking two of the biggest stars in the world. Obviously, Conor McGregor's reputation is in the toilet after everything that he's been through in 2024. I think Logan Paul's reputation has been in the toilet for quite a while. So it's bonkers. The whole thing is bonkers. Obviously, we have seen Conor box before. He boxed Floyd Mayweather.
Did you fight Floyd or something?
Yeah.
Did he pay you to lose?
Nah,
What happened?
he paid me. I wish you'd paid me.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You got it on you by any chance?
I have in Nigerian money. I'll give you 10 million in Nigerian money. That's about $1,100. So is that your only loss? Was Floyd?
No, I didn't lose. It was an exhibition, so there's no loser.
There's no loser in exhibition?
No.
So you both are winners? It's like a tie. That's
I
not a
don't
good
know.
feeling. It's like tongue kissing your sister or something. It's not a great feeling.
How many chicks hit you up after the
16.
Mayweather fight?
Can I be honest with you? Hey, something changed that night.
No offense, but I saw you up like after you were like flexing after you didn't get knocked out, and I was like, this guy's gonna fuck so many chicks.
Dana White's reaction to McGregor's decision was swift and harsh. White, who has always been a staunch advocate for the integrity of the sport, expressed his disappointment and frustration with McGregor's choice. In a series of interviews and public statements, White made it clear that he did not support the fight and believed it was a step in the wrong direction for McGregor's career.
Hey, what's your brother, 6'1"?
Yeah.
210?
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's 145, 155 pounds.
Oh, he fights that low. I thought he fights like once. I thought he fights like
He's looking a bit
165,
thick now. He's
170.
looking a bit thick.
Yeah.
I think the argument is that he is at such a higher skill level, and that was why Floyd took me on, right?
100%.
Because I'm bigger, but he's a god.
But what did Floyd figure out? You were so big, and you figured out how to tie him up, and you know what I mean? It's just there's weight classes for a reason.
Yeah.
And
What if Jake can cut to 145?
he just cuts half of his body off. Like, how do you do that?
Jake brought the type of guy to cut off a limb to make a weight class.
do you think he could cut to? You think he could make 70?
One set.
I don't think so.
Exactly.
I don't think so.
We're talking about, Spain, Seattle, and Chicago, and, these other places that we haven't been in a long time. A lot of big fights. I got something in the works right now. I'll drive you crazy. All you guys will be running around. I got something in the works that you will never see coming for 2025. That literally started to come together last night, and we got some fun stuff coming up.
KSI and Logan Paul.
Oh, they're fighting again?
They're fighting on the same card.
Oh yeah, okay. I like Logan a lot. Great kid. Who in this room thinks that's a great fight?
He's fighting.
Raise your hands, please, if him and Dylan Dennis is a great fight. I know he's fighting. Nobody? Not one guy?
One of White's main concerns was the potential impact of the fight on McGregor's legacy. McGregor, who has been a dominant force in the UFC, has built a reputation as one of the best fighters in the world. White feared that by engaging in a fight with Logan Paul, McGregor risked tarnishing his legacy and being remembered more for his involvement in spectacle fights than for his accomplishments in the octagon.
Conor McGregor literally would fight anybody. I've dealt with 1,000 fighters. So, this isn't the right fight for me at this time. This isn't that. This isn't this. This kid, we've been in the house that he was renting. And when I think it was when Jose fell out, he literally, this is what he said to us. I don't give a who you get. I'm going to work out. When you figure it out, call me and let me know.
Conor McGregor is a unicorn. Yes, he's funny, he's got the personality, he's got that thing. But at the end of the day, what people really loved about Conor McGregor, he never turned down a fight. There's video footage of me and Lorenzo standing in his house. He just wakes up in his underwear. He's been training for a fight. The fight's off. Conor spent loads of his own money. We told him, you see him sort of absorb it for a minute. He's like, well, I'm going to the gym. Call me later and let me know who I'm fighting. That's what people like. You can have all the personality and all this shit. People love killers. Conor was a killer.
Dana White recently shared his thoughts on why Conor McGregor might not return to the UFC anytime soon. During an interview, White mentioned that McGregor's financial success and various business ventures have made it difficult for him to find the motivation to come back to the octagon. White pointed out that once a fighter has accumulated significant wealth, the drive to continue enduring the physical and mental toll of training and fighting diminishes.
With regard to Conor McGregor, what is the holdup with his return?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, the Ultimate Fighter was over back in August, and I can't imagine the plan was for him to be out as long as he's been.
Well, the first problem was that he broke that shin bone. He was recovering from that. That was one of the reasons we had it on. The other problem is he's fucking rich. Conor McGregor doesn't need money.
So are we at a point here where Conor McGregor may never fight for the UFC? Can you say that?
If you had shitloads of money, would you be sitting here right now asking me this fucking question?
No.
No, you would not. That just answered your question.
Well, I answered no. So you're saying there's a chance that Conor McGregor will not fight again for the UFC?
I don't know. Conor McGregor's got a lot of money.
White also noted that McGregor's lifestyle, which includes frequent partying and other distractions, has further complicated his potential return. He emphasized that while McGregor has expressed interest in coming back, the reality of his current situation makes it challenging for him to commit fully to a comeback.
He's a smart dude, and you know, he's actually been one of the easiest guys to deal with.
Really?
Honestly. Yeah. Listen, Conor McGregor would be perfect if he showed up everywhere on time. I mean, if he did that, he'd literally be the perfect guy to work.
He doesn't give a
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's all part of his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, we have a great relationship, and he's been great to work with.
I mean, on paper, this sounds fantastic, right? This is going to be a great fight. But then you think about who's fighting. Arguably two of the greatest marketers in martial arts history. Of course, we have McGregor, who can sell tickets with his eyes closed, and Logan Paul, who's going to use all of his social media power to get everyone under the age of 15 to buy the pay-per-view. And I think every single person knows exactly how this is going to play out. This fight is going to be set sometime in late 2025 or 2026. McGregor's going to start talking shit early, make personal attacks, yada yada. Logan's gonna make it his entire personality and keep posting videos on social media to promote it, and also make some attacks at McGregor.
In response to White's comments, McGregor defended his decision to fight Logan Paul. He argued that the fight was an opportunity to reach a broader audience and bring more attention to the sport of boxing. McGregor also pointed out that he had always been a trailblazer and that taking on unconventional challenges was part of what made him unique. He emphasized that the fight with Paul was not just about money, but also about pushing boundaries and exploring new opportunities.
I would like to fight Conor. I think it'd be really cool.
Do you think that you're too big for him?
I could cut to 185, and he's.
But size-wise, Conor was most effective at 145.
But we'll always come back to, like, he's a professional fighter, I'm a YouTuber, you know, and so that's supposed to be the give and take of it. Like, why would I, a YouTuber who's own one, have any business beating the great Conor McGregor?
Stephen A. Smith has been quite vocal about his opinion on the potential fight between Conor McGregor and Logan Paul. In an interview, Smith expressed his belief that the fight is not a good idea for McGregor. He pointed out that McGregor is primarily a mixed martial artist and striker, not a boxer. Smith argued that McGregor's skills in the UFC wouldn't necessarily translate to success in the boxing ring against a more experienced boxer like Logan Paul.
I have no issue with this fight for a few reasons. Number one, obviously, I don't think he's ready to be back in the UFC. I think he will get his ass kicked thoroughly.
Yep.
These fighters are elite. They take this very seriously, and their definition of being in shape and ready to fight isn't bloating themselves up with muscles and looking good in the mirror. These brothers are ready to throw down.
Yep.
You Conor McGregor, and not only that, Michael Chandler has been calling him out forever. Desperately wants his hands.
Yeah.
Logan Paul has been quite vocal about his upcoming fight with Conor McGregor. He has teased the fight on social media, calling McGregor an average MMA fighter and a horrible boxer, and saying he plans to beat the shit out of him. Paul has also used McGregor's own catchphrases to hype up the fight, showing confidence in his ability to win.
I forgave Dylan before this fight started. It was the only way to attack this fight without emotion, trying to kill him, trying to be aggressive. But I mean, damn, he called himself a real fighter. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, real fighter? Hey, Conor McGregor! You see that? I took your bitch, put him on a leash, and took him for a walk! Who one's a real fighter now, bruh.
Smith also highlighted McGregor's previous boxing match against Floyd Mayweather, where McGregor struggled and ultimately lost in the 10th round. He suggested that McGregor's larger muscles and slower speed could be a disadvantage in a boxing match. Smith concluded that he doesn't think McGregor stands a good chance against Paul, and that the fight could end up being more spectacle than competition.
On Conor McGregor, because he knows that would be a big fight, obviously, and it's something that he wants, and that hasn't happened yet. We haven't seen Conor McGregor win a fight. I mean, he beat Donald Cerrone, Cowboy Cerrone. Cerrone looked like a deer in headlights, as I pointed out that night.
Yeah.
That's the only victory he's had in 7 years. Well, here's why I don't mind it, though, Shannon. I appreciate this fight because it's pure entertainment.
Yeah.
It's an exhibition. It isn't Jake Paul training with professional boxers, essentially being a professional boxer, but getting in the ring with non-boxers or geriatric dudes.
During his appearance on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive, Dana White had some interesting comments. He praised Conor McGregor, calling him the first real megastar of the UFC, and acknowledging his significant contributions to the sport. White also shared some humorous moments, including a blank stare when Logan Paul claimed that his podcast was the #1 in the world.
No, it's on
it's
Spotify.
on Spotify.
It's Rogan's #1 and they're #2 on Spotify.
For that episode.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, because we're the #1 podcast in the world, like unequivocally.
Yeah.
How do we get into a conversation? Well, hold on now. How do we get to a conversation where companies?
4 years ago, Dana White was adamant that there was zero chance of a fight between Conor McGregor and Logan Paul happening. He dismissed the idea, emphasizing the importance of maintaining the sport's integrity. However, the landscape of combat sports has evolved, and now the much-anticipated bout between McGregor and Paul is set for next year.
On the percentage scale from 0 to 100, what are the chances that Jake Paul ever fights Conor McGregor?
0.
0.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Listen, man, I get it. These kids, listen, both these kids, him and his brother, have done a good job of injecting themselves into the fight world. I am a huge Boston Celtics fan, okay? I love Nate Robinson. Nate's awesome, okay?
Right.
Have you ever seen basketball fights? Have you ever seen when fights break out in the basketball court?
Yep.
Yeah. Some of the shittiest fights you'll ever see in your life, okay?
This shift highlights how the appeal of high-profile, entertainment-driven events can change even the firmest of stances. Fans are eagerly awaiting to see how this unexpected matchup will unfold and whether it will live up to the hype.
35 pounds smaller or whatever the hell he was, Nate Robinson, and trying to take on Conor McGregor are two different things. It's like his brother. You know, I said earlier this week, his brother lost to the video game kid from England.
Right.
Now you're gonna fight Floyd Mayweather. That gets you a fight with Floyd Mayweather. That's pretty crazy. But I get it. There's a lot of money in it. There's a market for those kind of fights. It's not what I do.
Conor McGregor and Logan Paul have been actively engaging on social media about their upcoming fight. McGregor confirmed the bout, expressing excitement and love for India, where the fight will take place. He also hinted at a potential future fight with Jake Paul. Logan Paul, on the other hand, conducted an Instagram poll asking his followers who they thought would win, with 63% backing McGregor.
It all kicks off with this tweet from Conor McGregor at 4:08 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 9:08 in Edda. The rumors of a bout with Topuria are false. I believe he's referring to Ilia Topuria. I am in preliminary agreements with the Ambani family to face Logan Paul in a boxing exhibition in India. I have agreed. I will then seek my return to the octagon. Shortly thereafter, we got a tweet from Ilia Topuria saying, the rumors of a bout with McChicken are false. I don't fight, nor am I interested in fighting with a rapist.
Both fighters are using social media to hype up the fight and engage with fans, building anticipation for the event.
But I do not know. This would certainly qualify as something kind of out of left field that people would get worked up over. And so that's where things stand. Oh, by the way, Logan Paul reacting on social media with this. Some eyes on his Instagram. his story. By the way, he did that. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Nice little background. I guess he has a good team behind it. But there you go. He's reacting to it as well. Reached out to some more parties, and as of now, everyone is quite tight-lipped.
What are your thoughts on the upcoming Conor McGregor versus Logan Paul fight? Share your opinions and predictions in the comments below.